It was in third grade.
My first romantic kiss was, I think I was 14 or 15.
Well, mine was in the middle of a field where we were avoiding a bull that was coming rampaging after us. It was a famous bull called Rose Bull.
It was my first date, and I was going to the drive-in, and I was very nervous about this.
This is when I got out of the Navy, believe it or not. So I was an old guy, really. And started dating Rosalie.
And I was really nervous about this because, you know, I heard lots of stories about drive-ins.
And I thought that Suzanne Shapiro really liked me.
I didn't know that he had taken a shine to me.
We used to kind of hide in the ditch. And so while we were hiding in the ditch, I was 14, I think he was 14, and he had just the beginning, he had a mustache in training.
And it was in the gazebo at the Rose Garden in Elizabeth Park in Hartford, West Hartford.
And we were in recess on the playground, and there was a little hill that we were on, away from people, and we were talking, and I thought things were going great.
And on a third date, I knew she was expecting a kiss.
When we got back, he said, "Let me unlock your front door." So he unlocked it.
Came home, he brought me to the front door.
So I dropped her off at her house after we had been out on a date.
And so I was, well, good night.
During the very last song, the one that's the most romantic and the one where we're as close as we're possibly allowed to get during a junior high school prom, I made my move.
And so all of a sudden, he grabbed me and he gave me a great big kiss.
And I gave her such the quickest peck you ever saw in your life.
And I turned over and tried to plant a kiss on her.
And so anyway, he plonked that mustache in training onto my waiting lips. And I thought it was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
And she slapped me in the face.
The only crappy part of it was that she was about 6 or 7 inches taller than me. So I had to really do some convincing, but I got one planted on the cheek. So I had that going for me.
He kissed me. I went in the house and vomited.
And I just kept looking to the rear to see if the bull was charging to get me out of that first romantic kiss.
I was more surprised than anything else. And then I remember saying, "Well, I think it's time to go now."
Then I ran running down the stairs. That was my first romantic kiss.
I was nervous the whole night, and it upset my stomach, and that was it.
It was a nice kiss, and the roses were in bloom.
That's all it took for Lou Parchik to know this was the guy. And 3 years later, we got married.
It took me about 3 years to get over it.
Kiss.
And what was the second kiss like?
Well, that got a little bit better.
A lot better.
I just want your extra time.